Republicans and Democrats clashing on Capitol Hill in a fiery first hearing since Republicans took the House over the border crisis.
GOP Texas Congressman Wesley Hunt was at the whole thing, saw the fireworks. Congressman, I love one of your comments was you've been you've been black most of your life. So because you were pretty amazed that they were bringing up racism as a reason that the Republicans are concerned about the border.
Absolutely could not believe that, because this has absolutely nothing to do with race. And we were talking about fentanyl, and it's my opinion that fentanyl doesn't care about race either. When you look at what's happening at our border, you look at what's happening with human trafficking right here in Houston, Texas, where I am the congressman for Congressional District 38. You look at what's going on right here in our community, and this has absolutely nothing to do with race. And when you become the boy that cried wolf, like the left has become, and everything is about race, then it actually weakens those times when race is an actual issue. So what my goal is going to be on this committee is to make sure that we don't allow them to use race as a scapegoat for everything. And let's get down to brass tacks as to what's important to the American people and how can we fix some of these issues that's happening at the border that's killing people every single day.
Of course. And when you say things that are killing people, you're talking about fentanyl. To the Democrats, they made it very clear yesterday that most of the seizures of fentanyl coming across our southern border are at the ports of entry. And it's stuff in cars being driven by Americans. And relatively, they said for the most part, it's pretty much zero for the people who are trying to travel and come into the country between the ports. Do you buy that?
Absolutely not. The cartels have full control over our sovereign border right now. They are funneling fentanyl, and they are killing Americans at a rate we have not seen in the history of this country. Enough fentanyl has poured into our country to kill every single American 5 times. We know better than that, but they're also working in cahoots with China that's providing the fentanyl to the cartels that are now killing our young people. That's the bottom line. And they can try to tell us whatever they want and filibuster and say that, it's not about that and that we're racist and that we're xenophobic. But quite frankly, we have the truth on our side as long as we are willing to tell it. And I think we're going to do just that over the course of the next few months on this issue.
Yeah, I mean, after listening to Adam Schiff and to Nadler, some of the Democrats that were there, you're just like, what in the world? They pull the race card, and then they say that Biden has continued Trump's policies. Meanwhile, they've ended Remain in Mexico. They're not allowing to build a wall. They're not allowing even those big, what are those big containers on the border in Arizona, the shipping containers. Yep. But they're saying another thing. They're saying he's continued Trump's policies. So why, when they look at the numbers and they know that 98 people on the terrorist watch list came in fiscal year 2022, how do they justify allowing so many people to come in our country without vetting them?
It's completely un-American. When 9/11 hit, I was a sophomore at West Point, and my class was one of the first classes to actually go to Afghanistan and Iraq to fight against terror. And what we did was we took a vow to say, never again on our watch. Right. And now we have a president that's allowing people on the terrorist watch list, and by the way, they're on the terrorist watch list for a reason. And we are allowing them to enter our country indiscriminately, and that puts us all at risk. It's very frustrating to me because I am somebody like many of my classmates from West Point that decided to go serve our country to rid the country and rid this threat to our country from terrorists abroad. And now we are allowing them to simply walk across the border. The answer is no, and I think Jim Jordan and our committee has a plan on getting us back on track to keeping our country and the American people safe again.
Just so few people like Henry Quay are a Democrat who understands the problem. I just can't believe more Democrats can't see a place where they could come and join you in this because it's so important. Congressman Wesley Hunt.
Congressman, really quickly, I'll tell you, I was talking to someone from Mexico, and they said, we thank America for this because a lot of these guys are drug dealers. A lot of them are taking fentanyl, and they're leaving our country to come to America. So we're glad you're cleaning up Mexico. Haven't thought about that perspective.
Oh, my goodness. Of course, ma'am. Look, this is a great place to be. This is the greatest country in the world, and there's a reason why people are risking their lives to get here.
All right. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us on this Thursday.
Thank you so much. God bless you. You have a great day.
You too.
All right.
God bless you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.